In Algebra 2, we'll learn 3 main ways to graph quadratics. We've already learned vertex form and intercept form, so now it's time to talk about standard form. For standard form, we have no parentheses at all. We call our coefficients a, b, and c. A x squared plus bx plus c. A is the coefficient of the squared term, b is the coefficient of the x term, and c is the coefficient of, well, x to the 0, which is just our constant. To find the vertex in standard form, h, the x part of the vertex, is negative b divided by 2a. And then to find k, the y part of the vertex, we'll plug in h for x. First, determine a, b, and c. Now use the formula to solve for the x part of the vertex.
So our vertex is -2, -1. Remember, a gives us the rise, so the rise 1 unit away from the vertex will be a, which is 2, and 2 units away from the vertex, the rise will be 4 times a, so 8. Graph the vertex and use a to graph the next 4 points. The domain of a parabola is -∞ to infinity, and this parabola opens up, so we have a minimum value. That minimum value is at y equals k, so y equals -1, which makes our range -1 to infinity. To the right of the vertex, the y values continue to increase, so to the right of the vertex is our interval of increasing values, -2 to infinity. Now the x values for which the y's are decreasing would be all the x's from -∞ up to -2. There's graphing a parabola in standard form.
Let's try another one. Begin by determining a, b, and c. h, or the x part of the vertex, is equal to -b over 2a. So in this case, h is a fraction, or you could write it as 2.5. Let's solve for the y part of the vertex by plugging in 5/2 or in 2.5. As always, our domain is -∞ to infinity. Our range is dependent on whether we have a max or min. This parabola opens downward, so we have a maximum value. That maximum value is at y equals k. So this parabola has a max at y equals 5/4. That makes our range everything below 5/4, so -∞ up to 5/4. This parabola is increasing to the left of the vertex x value of 5/2, so we're increasing all the way from -∞ up to 5/2, decreasing from 5/2 to infinity. There's our parabola. Go ahead and try number 3 on your own, graph it and fill out all the characteristics, and then press play when you're ready to check your work.
Let's graph the parabola. This parabola has a minimum value at y equals k, which makes our range start at 2 and go all the way up to infinity. This parabola is increasing to the right of the vertex, so increasing from the x vertex value to positive infinity, and this parabola is decreasing from -∞ to -4. This one still has x-intercepts from the video from intercept form. This parabola actually has no x-intercepts. And there's another parabola in standard form.